All right, it's time to have a lot more fun now. We're going to piece together a bunch of the elements that we've been learning in the previous videos. And we're going to do that, first of all, here with Liberace's Boogie Woogie piano piece. And you can actually get sheet music for this. You can purchase it out online. I think it's better to learn this using the pieces that we have and just learning it either from the video here or by ear, so that you just have it and you can look at the keyboard and start to play it and you know your way around rather than relying on the music. And I'll show you how easy this is going to be just to put all these pieces together, because we've studied several of them in the video. In the previous videos, I've pulled pieces out from this piece, and they're pretty standard boogie woogie licks and bass lines and so forth. So this is going to be hopefully easy for you to see how it all pieces together. All right. And now he plays this pretty quickly, and we're not going to do that at first, obviously. We've talked about that in the practice video, but we're going to jump right in, and I'll show you the big picture, how it all fits together, and then we'll just put the pieces together and we'll have the whole piece here. Okay. So this might take more than one video. I'm not sure. We'll see how far we get, but we're going to start with just the introduction, which is just that simple, traditional boogie woogie bass line. But he uses a bouncy rhythm. Like that, okay? So it's that bass line. And he does the full 12-bar progression with that bass line and nothing else. So he does the F, 2, 3, 4 measures, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to the C, 9, down to the B flat, 10, 11, back to the F, 12. All right, so he does the full 12 bars, just that bass line, just to set the thing up. Now, the next section goes in to one of the licks that we learned here, one of the right-hand licks, and we're in the key of F now for this, okay? So again, just to recap, that first little section was just the bass line, and it's that for F, we need that one. For B flat, we need this one. And then back to F. Then C is back to B flat, back to F. All right, so that we have 12 bars. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 of F. Then B flat, 5, 6, so 2 measures of B flat, and then back to F. 7, 8. Then C, 1 measure, 9, B flat, 1 measure, 10, back to F, 11, 12. All right, now we have pickups to the next section, and the lick we use in the right hand is the one we talked about before. It's all right, but we need those pickups, that 1-2-1 pickup, before we get into this section. So right at the end of the intro section, we need that pickup there, okay? And this is one of those times when both hands keep going, so this will require maybe a little extra practice to get it going. And obviously not starting at this tempo would be a good idea. You should start it a lot more slowly. In fact, I'll try and slow it down here. So now we move up to the B flat. I missed my target there. We move up to the B flat for 2 measures. So coming out of the F section, actually let's just start from that section. B flat, back to F, up to C. Whoops. Back to B flat, F. Actually, this is a little ending part here, a little lick he does. Then he kind of ends it like a straight F chord, but you could do that augmented 7th to a 6th, which I kind of like better even. Yes, better than Liberace. All right, so let's do that section again. We have the pickups coming off the intro. Here we go. B flat, F, C, B flat. Whoop, the music is falling down on me. So back to that C, B flat, we have that little just, and then our ending that we talked about before, and we'll just put a 6, augmented 7th, 6th ending in there, like that. And then he just goes, just bounces on that F. And then he switches to a different bass pattern. He does that walking bass pattern. And he does a full 12 bars here too. So there's F, B flat, F, C. Doesn't have much time here, so he just does that triad. B flat, again, one measure. Okay, so that's this piece. There's 12 bars in there of just that bass line. All right. So then, after changing the bass line and introducing this next section, he just does the 16th note lick. Starting on the G. We're in the key of F, remember, so a lot of times we start on this G, and it's just going to be this G, G sharp, A, C. And he has a single pickup note at the beginning of that. So after coming out of this, actually the tail end of this little intro section here with this new bass line, it goes the C, B flat, F. So did you hear that little pickup note? 2, 3, 4. B flat now, so we start on the C, back to the F, and then this little lick he does is real simple. He goes, let's see. And then our little, and actually what I think he does is he rolls even a little more. So it's more like he starts on, like he's gonna do the 16th note pattern again on C, but he goes ba da 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 ba ba, starting on the D. So like and then a B flat, like that. Okay, and then our little ending. Whoops. And then again. And then he's back to the good old boogie woogie pattern. I believe that's the pattern he goes back to. Or actually, I think he just goes back to the good old walking bass pattern. But he doesn't do the full 12 bars. He just does a couple measures of F, because then we have a break in here. But let's stop here and let's go back over what we've got, the different pieces, okay? So we start with the full 12 bars of Boogie Woogie. C, B flat, now walking bass for 12 bars, now the 16th notes, pick up, B flat, F, C, B flat, our little ending. Again, walking bass. And now we have a little break in here in this section. It's still 12 bars, but it starts off with a little break. And he kind of rolls up like and this is a standard, either a break section or an intro for boogie woogie. They'll kind of roll chords up like a 7 chord. In this case, we have an F7, and he kind of rolls up from this C. Like that. And actually, this top chord should be a 7 chord. So that's just an F chord with an F on the top and the E flat, the 7th on the bottom. So you can roll it up and then roll up to the F with an F7 chord here, A, C, E flat, A. And then he does these little triplet. It's kind of a weird little run. Okay, it's like, so this section starts, and then he'll have people say hey or clap or whatever, and then we go into this little riff. Back to the F. So we started that one on B flat because we had the little break section. This. Hey, now B flat. Whoops, start down here. C, B flat, and again our little ending. Now he does this section several times for different people in the audience, men, women, children, whatever. So he repeats this section a lot, but that's all there is to this section, okay? Again, it's just the F, walking bass setup, 2 measures, and then this little roll up, and the triplets. Now the B flat. It's this lick. F, C, B flat, and our little ending. Alright, so can you see how the pieces are fitting together now? All these little licks and sections. There's not a whole lot to this piece. It's just a matter of getting these little licks down. So after coming out of this section, we end with that again with the little bouncing on the F. Now he goes back to the first bass pattern. Then things get a little crazy because he does what he calls 16 to the bar. So he does 16th notes, and he does it just unbelievably fast. So this is something you can either end right there or work on this section on your own by speeding it up. But he just does. Now, getting your right hand to keep up is another issue altogether. It's not quite the same riff as the top, but he goes. And it's pretty difficult. So if he's going. And he repeats that section. And I'll just show you this real quick. I won't get into it a whole lot, but that's basically what he's doing, is just speeding it up. So this riff changes a little bit. We don't have this. That part is just very, it's very straight. So this is the last time he goes up here, hitting an F6 chord. Then he brings it down. Down again. Now he does that ending we talked about. Which was a complete mess right there. So let's do that again. Right there. Now, this last chord he plays is a little weird. I'll show it to you anyway, but it's a little strange. It appears to be, or sounds like, it is a G flat 9 sharp 11 chord. Very odd. Yeah. So it's G flat, D flat, A flat, all right, with a C, E, A flat, and a C. Now the C is a sharp 11, the E is the 7th of a G flat, the A flat is a 9, and we have the G flat here. So it's kind of what's called a tritone substitution. So normally in the key of F, you play a 5 chord, which would be a C7, right before you got back to the F. So like that C augmented 7th, or even just a regular C7. Normally that's what you'd play. A tritone substitution substitutes, instead of the C, you play 3 whole tones up. A G flat chord. Usually it's a 7th chord. And then you come down to the key of the piece, to the F. Now, the way I think of that is it's a half step above the tonic chord, which is F. So instead of C7 to F, you play G flat 7 to F. And in this case, he alters that chord and makes it a sharp 11. So you get this weird chord like that. And then he just goes all the way down to the F like that. Okay? So, weird little ending. All right, so let's put these pieces together one more time here. Let me check and see how I'm doing on the video time here. Just a moment. Well, yeah, we're running a little long, but we'll just keep this all as one video, and we'll wrap this up here real quick. So, to recap, we start 12 bars, boogie woogie, just the left-hand bass pattern. Bouncy. Right? We went over that. After we come out of that, the very first section is this lick. Gosh, I have trouble with that one. And this little tag all the time. Now we switch bass patterns. We do 12 bars of this. Same chords as before. When we come out of that, we do our 16th note pattern with a pickup. B flat, F, C with that little lick, B flat, and again, same bass pattern again, but just 2 measures of this because we go into this little break section. Roll up. Then this weird little... Now we have this lick starting on B flat. Back to F. C. B flat. Again with that ending. Now you can repeat that section a couple times if you like, or just go back to the original bass line for a couple measures, or 4. Then Liberace switches to the fast like that. Whew, barely held it together. Yeah, I have a tough time up with that C chord up here. So it does take some practice. But anyway, you're seeing me in my natural practicing state here. And I've been working on this a little bit too. But that's a tough ending of that song. But that's basically it. That's all the pieces. And you can see it's just these standard licks pieced together. These bass lines and these right-hand licks with a few other little extra embellishments in there. But it makes for a great little piece to work on using all these different things that we talked about, okay? So, I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry this video was a little longer than the others, but I hope you enjoyed this section on Liberace's Boogie Woogie. And we'll see you in the next video.